His grip on me loosened, and he collapsed into the chair.
That's how it happened?
That's what I would tell them if I had any guts. See, I would have to be arrested, and then have a trial, and then...
Hold it. Who called you into the booth?
The man that got killed, of course. See? The marks on my throat.
No, I don't.
Too early for the bruises to show, I could say.
Good Lord, that would get you top billing anywhere, wouldn't it?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, then go ahead and tell it.
I can't. I simply can't. It'd be so damn vulgar.
Yeah, it would be if it wasn't true.
About your not being married, I hadn't even thought. There was an article in Collier's magazine last month about career girls getting married. Did you read it?
No, I must have missed that one.
Oh, that article was silly. I think a girl should get a career established first. That's why when I see an attractive man, I never wonder if he's married. By the time I'm ready for one, these will be too old. See, that's why I wouldn't ask you if you knew anyone in show business, because I wouldn't take help from a man. I think that a girl...
Ready, Mr. Goodwin?
Oh, good, Jimmy. Just scrape of the face.
Did you phone?
Huh?
Did that fathead Ed forget again?
Oh, no. I just got caught needing a shave, that's all. You seem to have had some excitement here, Jimmy.
We sure did. Hey, Carl. You know Carl?
Sure.
He killed a man in Tina's booth.
What?
Then they both ran. I'm sorry for Tina. She was all right, but Carl, I don't know. Hey, how's that? Too tight?
No, it's fine. Jimmy, I'd watch it if I was you. You know, it's a little risky to go blabbing that Carl killed him unless you can prove it.
Yeah, well, he had fits.
Fits?
Yeah, like he'd shake all over. And what did he run for?
I couldn't say, but I mean, the cops are still poking around here. There's even an inspector.
This towel's hot now.
Oh, it sure is.
Yeah, they're after evidence. You gotta have evidence. For instance, they want to know that man who was killed. Did he show me anything, or did he ask me anything about some article from the shop? That would be evidence, see?
Yeah. What did he ask you?
Hell, what didn't he ask? You'd think I was taking out insurance or something, you know? I told him where to get out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He asked me what was I doing last night. Do you believe it?
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't tell him, eh?
Yeah. He kept on at me, so I figured, what the hell, and told him. Why not? That's my philosophy, Mr. Goodwin. Why not? It saves trouble. As long as my wife doesn't find out, huh? Yeah, all is in there asking questions. One at a time. Janet was the last.
Well, who found him dead?
Fickler, 10 or 15 minutes later. Jeez, he come yelling out of there. I damn near nicked my customer. How's the razor, all right?
It's fine, just fine.
Yeah, then the cops come. And it's been nothing but questions ever since. Who went behind the partition after Janet came out? They want to know. I tell them, how do I know? I had a customer at the time. When exactly did Carl and Tina leave? They must have asked me that 20 times. But I can't say and I won't say. Carl did it all right. But they can't prove it by me. They got to have evidence, right? But not me.
Good, man. Inspector Kramer don't like you being here.
Neither do I, Sergeant. Neither do I. Yeah, thank God this didn't happen to be Wolfe's day for a haircut. You never would have believed it. Speed it up just a little, Jimmy. Mr. Wolfe hates to wait lunch. The first surprise when I got home was that Tina and Carl were not in the front room. The second surprise was to find them sitting with Wolfe at the dining room table.
Than any other jackass. And you're just in time, Archie. You like veal and mushrooms.
I asked the Varders to wait in the front room till I got back.
I invited them to join us. I don't sit at my table alone when there are unfed people in my home.
Yes, sir, but there's a problem.
Yes, Archie?
I know you have a paroxysm if I try to bring up business during meals, but 18,000 cops would give a month's pay to get their hands on Carl and Tina, your guests.
Oh, indeed. Why?
Have you talked with them?
No, I merely invited them to lunch.
I see. I ran into Kramer and Stebbins at the barber shop.
Oh, confound it.
Yes, sir, and the rest of their squad that handles only one kind of case. It's quite interesting, really, but first lunch, of course. I'll go and put the chain bolt on. Please dish me up some veal.
Please be seated. Mrs. Vardis, I think you'll find the red chair quite comfortable.
Thank you, Mr. Wolfe.
That was it. Fine cooking.
Thank you, Mr. Vardis. Fritz takes great pride in his veal. Now then, Archie, what have you gotten us into this time?
Us?
Yes, I'm responsible for their presence since they were my guests at lunch.
Okay, if that's how it is. I did not invite them to come here, let alone to have lunch. They came on their own, and I let them in, which is one of my functions. Having started it, I'll finish it. Carl, Tina, it's dangerous for you to stay here. Now, I know of a safe place up in the Bronx for you to lay low for a couple of days. You shouldn't take a taxi or the subway, so we'll go around the corner to the garage, get Mr. Wolfe's car, and you can drive it up there.
Excuse me, you will drive us up there?
No, I'll be too busy.
Yeah, but I can drive car. I don't know how.
Okay, then your wife will drive. Now, you can leave the car.
No, she can't. She don't know it either.
Well, you mean you can't drive a car? Certainly you can. Everybody can drive a
In
car.
this country, yes, but we are new in this country. We have never had the chance to learn.
You've never driven a car?
No, never.
No. Carl?
Never.
What the devil is this?
It has a bearing, as you'll soon see. Now, here's how it is. A precinct detective named Jake Wallen called at the barber shop this morning and began asking questions. Fickler took him into Tina's booth, and he questioned Tina first. Then the others had sessions in this order. Carl, Jimmy, Ed, and Janet. After Janet came out, there was a period of 10 or 15 minutes when Wallen was in the booth alone. Then Fickler went to see, and what he saw was Wallen's body with scissors buried in his back.
Carl! No! Oh, no! Oh, Carl, you didn't!
Oh, Archie, make it
Tina,
stop.
Mrs.
no.
Artis, please.
You understand? No.
Mrs.
No.
Artis.
Stop. That man was killed there in Tina's booth?
Yes.
Then, of course, this is end for us. But please, I ask you not to blame my wife, because we go through many things together. She thinks I can do things that are not possible for me. But I do not kill that man. I do not touch him.
About driving a car. Was that flummery?
No, sir, that comes next. Last night around midnight, a hit-and-run driver in a stolen car killed 2 women up on Broadway. The car was found parked at Broadway and 96th Street. Wallen from the 20th Precinct was the first one to look it over. In it, he apparently found something that led him to the Goldenrod barber shop. He showed up there and called the roll, as described, with the result also as described. Now, Kramer has brought it that the hit-and-run driver found himself cornered and used the scissors. And Kramer, don't quote me, is not a dope. Now, to qualify as a hit-and-run driver, you must meet certain specifications, and one of them is knowing how to drive a car.
Then the best plan would be for Mr. and Mrs. Vardas to go back to the shop at once and submit to Mr. Kramer's questioning.
Except for 2 things.
What?
1, the fact that they landed will make it very tough. And 2, even though it is settled that they didn't kill a cop, their lack of documents will fix them anyhow.
Wait, their lack of documents...
Yes, sir, they're in the country illegally. They escaped from a concentration camp in Russia.
Confound it.
An interesting angle is that you are harboring fugitives from justice, and I am not. I told Pearlie they're here.
You what?
That's the advantage of having a reputation for gags. You can say practically anything if you handle your face right.
Oh.
I told him they were here in our front room, and he sailed right over it. So I'm clean, but you're not. If you don't want to call Kramer yourself, which I admit would be a little thick since they were your luncheon guests, I could get Pearlie at the shop, tell him that they're still here, and why hasn't he sent for them?
It might be better if you let us go ourselves, no?
No. There is another alternative to consider.
Oh, yes, sir, what?
Since Mr. Kramer and Mr. Stebbins are still there at work, they may at any moment disclose the murderer.
Oh, I doubt it. They settled for Carl and Tina, and what they're looking for is evidence, especially what it was that led Wallen to the shop.
Mrs. Vardas, except for Mr. Fickler, that man questioned you first, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Did he produce any object? Did he show you any object whatever?
No, I'm sure he did not. He had the newspaper in his hand.
Yes, he asked about no object, anything in the shop.
No,
He took nothing from his pocket.
no,
The newspaper he had. Did he take that from his pocket?
no. He had it in his hand when he came in from the booth.
In his hand or under his arm?
In his hand, I think. Yeah, I'm sure.
Was it folded up?
Well, of course, newspapers are folded.
Yes, Mrs. Vardas. Just remember the newspaper as you saw it in his hand. I'm making a point of it because there's nothing else to make a point of, and we must have a point if we can find one. Was the newspaper folded up as if he'd had it in his pocket?
No, it was not. It was not folded that much. When he sat down, he put it at the table, and it was the way it is on newsstands, so that's how it was folded.
But he didn't mention it.
No,
And you noticed nothing unusual about it? I mean the newspaper?
no, it was only newspaper.
What is it, Fritz?
Inspector Kramer is at the door, sir. He insists on seeing you.
Confound it. Archie, quickly. See our guest to the front room.
All right, now hurry, you two. Now, sit there in the corner. Don't go near the window or doors. This time, don't move until I tell you. Is that clear?
But
No, there's no but. Is that clear?
Yes.
Now, bring Mr. Kramer in, Fritz.
Yes, sir. Mr. Wolfe will see you now.
Well, it took you long enough.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kramer. Fritz, will you bring beer, please? You'll have some beer, Mr. Kramer?
I'm here on business.
Indeed. How can I help you?
You can tell me what Goodwin was doing in that barber shop this morning.
Oh, I understand he went for a shave. Isn't that right, Archie?
Yes, sir.
I have learned over a stretch of years that when I find you or Goodwin within a mile of a murder, something fancy can be expected.
Mr.
Let me
Kramer,
finish. I know you've been going to that shop for 2 years, and Goodwin for 6 years. But the owner, Arnie Fickler, says that in the 6 years Goodwin has been going there, he has never once gone for just a shave. Not once. He goes only for the works. Haircut, shampoo, and shave. So today, 2 hours after a murder, he goes there just for a shave? I don't believe it.
Then you don't? I'm not responsible for your credulity quotient.
No one would believe it.
I don't see how we can help you.
I believe that Goodwin went to that shop because he knew a man had been murdered there.
Then you believe wrong. Your credulity quotient needs an overhaul. Until I got there, I hadn't the slightest idea or suspicion that a man had been murdered there or anywhere else.
Your going there had nothing to do with the murder?
Put it that way if you prefer. I'll write it out and sign it for you if you like.
I would like. Word it yourself, but say it right.
You'll get it.
Today.
Okay, right now if you want.
You know the law about withholding evidence as well as I do. You ought to by this time the stunts you pulled.
You thought that I had sent Archie to the shop on business?
I still think so.
Then you might as well have an affidavit from me, too. In it, I will say that I did not send him to the barber shop and that I heard and knew nothing of the murder until he returned and told me.
You'll swear to that?
It's a favor to you, yes. Since you wasted your time, you might as well get a little something out of it. But, Mr. Kramer, I still don't know your real reason for coming here. According to Archie, the murderer is known. And all I have to do is find him. What could you expect to get from me?
When I see Goodwin poking around, I want to know why.
I don't believe it. Archie, I think you must be responsible for this.
Me? How?
You're brash. You talk too much.
What?
It must have been something you did or said. What was it?
I don't get it.
What did you say to Mr. Kramer?
Practically nothing. I just answered a civil question.
What did you say to Stebbins?
Oh, I just asked what was going on, and he told me. And then I told you about it.
Not verbatim. What did you say?
Nothing. Damn it. Of course Pearlie wanted to know what brought me there, and I took... Oh, wait a minute. Maybe you're right at that. Pearlie asked me if I had seen Carl or Tina this morning, and I said sure. I'd put them up here in the front room and told them to wait, and if he would step on it, he could find them.
I knew it. Your confounded tongue.
Huh?
So that's it, is it, Mr. Kramer? Sergeant Stebbins told you that.
He mentioned it.
Then why have you waited to pounce? Since Archie has rashly disclosed our little secret, it'd be useless for me to try to keep it. That's what we use the front room for, mainly, to keep murderers in. You're armed, I suppose. Go in and get them. Archie, open the door for him.
Oh, certainly. I wouldn't want to stand in the way of justice. There you are, Inspector. I'm scared of murderers myself, or I'd be glad to help.
Well, Mr. Kramer...
Comedy. I just happened to drop in on my way down to my office. I'll expect those affidavits this afternoon.
Whatever you say, just as long as we're not going to be jailed for harboring fugitives. Nero Wolfe's office, Archie Goodwin speaking.
Goodwin, is Inspector Kramer there?
Yeah, he's here, Pearlie. He just happened to drop in on his way downtown. It's for you, Inspector.
Yeah, Pearlie, what is it? When? Bad? Does she know who? Goodwin. Well, why him? You're sure? Oh, Jesus. I'll be right there. Come on, Goodwin, you're coming with me.
What is it? What's happened?
The manicurist, Janet. Someone tried to kill her.
Who?
She won't say. She says the only person she'll tell is you.
Me? Why me?
That's what I want you to tell me in the car on the way down. Now, come on.
She was found on the floor of her booth out cold from a blow on her head. We brought her to, and she can talk, but she won't. She says she won't talk to anybody except her friend Archie Goodwin. How long have you known her?
Until today, I merely leered at her. The only chat I've ever had with her was here today, under your eye, huh? But look what it did to her. Is it any wonder my opinion of myself is what it is?
Yeah, you've never seen her outside the shop?
Never.
That can be checked.
Yeah.
Right now, we want you to get her to talk. Oh, God damn her, she stopped us cold. Come on.
Hey, hold it. If I'm going to ask her questions, I ought to know what happened.
Oh, Jesus, Goodwin. There are only 3 of us left here. I was